in your leg.
And here I thought we were getting along. You know, if you'd just tell me where the claviture is, I'd get out of your hair.
He's out on official business. That's all you need to know.
So he didn't tell you either, huh?
Hey! Turn around and sail back to wherever you came from. This dock is reserved for the Imperial Envoy. And he's late. Huh, probably died at sea. Good riddance. Oh, you are?
Nice.
Forgive me, Envoy. I meant nothing by it. A slip of the tongue. Can we start over? Name's Cynric, captain of the local militia. We're a scrappy bunch, but we know our way around Paradis. Unlike most Aedirans who couldn't find their ass with both their hands. Oh, present company excluded. They told me you were godlike, but I didn't know what to expect. Your face, it's so... Well...
You're doing great.
Forgive me, again. We're having a bit of an emergency. No doubt you've come for the Aedyran ambassador, but he's gone, along with our claviger. They traveled northwest to the Strangle Route, past the old Pargrun Wall.
You need to find the ambassador, and I need to find the claviger. How's about we partner up? Name's Kai. I've been a soldier, a sailor, and a halfway decent baritone.
He's a troublemaker, but a damn qualified one at least.
I knew you had a soft spot for me. Claviger Eamund helped me get on my feet when I came to Paradis a few years ago. Last time we spoke, he sounded worried about things. If he's gotten himself into trouble, I owe it to him to help out. If there's one thing you can say about Rauataians, we're no backstabbers. We handle our disagreements face to face, with lots of yelling and violence. You'll vouch for me, right, Captain?
Better to have him and not need him, I guess.
That's the nicest thing you've said about me all day.
Kai, before you go, the Envoy is no stranger to the wilderness, but you and I both know the living lands can be, unpredictable. Make sure he comes back alive, or the Steel Garrote will have my head.
Better yours than mine.
The Steel Garrote are here as guests, helping Aedirans like yourself keep the peace. Or so they say.
That's certainly what they'd like you to believe. Sounds like their reputation back home in Adir isn't any better than it is here.
You tell me, Envoy. The Aedirans came to our shores with their soldiers, their bureaucrats, and their cult of murderers. Asking a lot of nosy questions is a good way to end up with a knife in your back. Maybe it's better if you don't mention me at all. Speaking of the Steel Garrote, fair warning, their leader, Inquisitor Ludwine, is eager to greet you. Or possibly interrogate you. I heard she's a monster, the personal handmaiden of the Burned Queen. But that's not all. They say she fell in battle in the Deadfire, and death spat her back out. That's none of my business, and let's keep it that way.
We'll have time to worry about Ludwine later. Right behind you. We've got to find your ambassador and my claviger before something else does.
The city's getting crowded. Pretty soon the Aedirans will outnumber us 3-1.
Why doesn't the claviger put a stop to it?
What do you think, dimwit? He's nice and cozy in the ambassador's pocket. That's enough for now. You gotta listen.
Greetings, friend. You look like you could use a fine weapon or a sturdy shield. Not to worry, Walter is here. I suggest you take a look at my wares before you speak to Daggerda. Who knows what mood she's in today? From legitimate sources, clearly. From traders and adventurers, mostly. And a few used pieces from people down on their luck.
What harm could some new armor do? Look good. Heading out to the wilds? Make sure you have everything you need. You don't want to...
Kai, I told you not to show your face around here again.
Come on. You're not still mad about that hunting knife, are you?
All right, no. You're clear. But you better pay up front this time.
I knew you'd come around. You miss me.
I'll let you think that. Now don't mind him. What are you interested in? Yeah, some of the oldest in Paradis. He's a headache, but that's because you want him to come back alive.
So you do care.
I lied to the garrote for you. Do I have to spell it out?
Welcome to Dawnshore, Traveler. My name is Daggerda. You seem like you could use a nice potion or a bite to eat. And I promise a safe and pleasant transaction, despite whatever Walter told you. Ha! I'm sure he did. He'd rather chase off my customers than admit he was wrong. To be honest, stranger, I'm not inclined to go into it. He knows what he did. And let's leave it at that.
The living lands are a dangerous place. A newcomer like you surely needs armaments.
Please, how hard is it to answer a question?
I don't trifle with souls, ma'am.
They're tearing my home apart. Never mind. I can't believe how rude everyone is around here. How hard could it be to find a watcher? I have a little money, if that's what you mean. I assumed I'd have to pay the watcher, though. I have a strange problem, you see. I'm clearly under some kind of curse. A band of Zorips invaded my house. What am I gonna do? Why did they do anything? They've probably eaten all my food and destroyed my supplies. I don't know what else. First, my ship gets attacked by pirates. Then none of my plants will take. Now this happens? And they won't let me into Paradis to sort it out? The militia. They're scared of some plague. At least that's what they say. I wonder if it's really the Aedirans. Keep us out and themselves in. I should never have come here.
Come here for a better life and find a worse one. Wish I hadn't heard that before.
It's hard to put it into words. I just feel like I should be here. I'd heard it was dangerous, but the Glenfathan wilds were dangerous. I thought I was prepared. I had no idea what I was in for. I wanted to grow a little food, save some skates. They never thrived, that's all. Clearly, I have bigger things to worry about. Then take my house key. It's northwest of here. That cabin on the cliff all by itself. Gods know I can't go back. And there's nothing to steal either. The Zorips saw to that. Come back when you've dealt with them, and make sure you get their leader, too. I'm sorry, but I don't think they'll go quietly. You'll have to kill them. Still, I know it's a dirty job. Thank you. That may not be worth much coming from a stranger, but I mean it.
I've come in search of lost treasures. Have you heard any rumors of such things in the area?
I suppose so, actually. There are some Pargrunan ruins to the north, just across the river from the Strangle route. The Pargrunan are said to have left behind many treasures.
Very good. I will remember you. You will be justly compensated upon my return.
Yeah, sure. Just be careful, all right? The land gets more dangerous the further north you go. No telling what might be waiting for you.
Do not worry, little man. I have stared death in the face before, and have no fear of these supposed dangers.
All right. Well, good luck.
Maybe it's superstition, but Audra like this usually marks a good spot to rest. You know, for most people, getting sent to the Living Lands is a punishment. But, according to Cynric, you're the personal envoy of the Emperor of Aedyr himself. Quite a position. Then I dare say you're better equipped than most who wash ashore here. You must have some truly fascinating stories of past exploits. I'll look forward to it. But in the meantime, I have to wonder, why does the Emperor send his most valuable agent to the Living Lands? Oh, that almost does sound like a punishment. I don't know how you investigate a so-called plague of the soul, so better you than me. Being a godlike, I don't suppose your patron deity gives you any unique insights into matters of the soul, do they? Sorry. It's a rare sight, and these are strange times. I haven't met anyone who's really seen the Dream Scourge yet, but that hasn't stopped people from worrying about the rumors. Refugees are flooding in from outlying regions. The guards are restricting access to the city. And people are making offerings to the gods for everything from hangovers to indigestion, just in case. I like your confidence, just be careful how you express it. Unfortunately, the presence of so many Aedyran troops and the rumored exploits of the Steel Garrote paladins supporting them is only making a tense situation worse. I think that's why the Clavenger accompanied your ambassador. Exactly. Paradis has been quiet lately, but I don't know how long that'll last. We're talking about an island that has been largely settled by nomads, exiles, and dissidents. People who tend to be suspicious of authority. But what about you? What's your stake in things? Besides your orders, of course. Just be careful where you say that. That's the kind of talk that may get people thinking you've got the Dream Scourge. I'll let you get some rest, but thanks for talking. It's good to be part of a squad again, even if it's just for a while. They say people afflicted with it have strange, vivid dreams and start confusing them with reality. What starts as a light daze becomes severe disorientation and eventually a bent towards chaotic violence. And then, fungal growths take over your body. So Dream Scourge. No, Dream Scourge is different. It spreads all over. Still, if you see any new mushrooms sprouting up anywhere unexpected, let me know. Until then, look on the bright side. The Living Lands is filled with people and things that are likelier to kill you first. It's the gateway to the Living Lands, a scenic port city that's as beautiful and dangerous as the wilds around it. Most visitors enjoy some mariner's porridge at the Ballarrock, a back alley shakedown, and then the sudden return of that porridge out of one end or the other. Then, if they've got any sins, they turn around and take their chances back where they came from, with authentic tales of their adventures in the Living Lands. Exactly. What's not to love? These days, we have a few more would-be adventurers trying to leave their mark on the place. The Living Lands means a hard-won second chance for the people who settle here. But first, you've got to survive it. And the island gives no quarter. For a lot of people, the Living Lands is a last resort. They come fleeing war, debt, famine, the law. Take your pick. For others, it's freedom. To seek glory, to redefine yourself, to live in a way you can't, maybe even on pain of death wherever you come from. Little of everything. Rauatai is famous for storms and rocky soil, so I figured if I'm going to live in a hostile environment, why not pick some place where things grow? It seemed like a good idea at the time. Used to be, if you could last out here, you could count on being left alone. That's what some fear. Ilgard's new embassy and his alliance with the Steel Garrote smell like the authority and order that a lot of people came here to leave behind. But I don't mean to put that on you. I imagine you're tired of having to answer for every Aedyran who sneezes into somebody's stew. Should I break out the booze? I joined up with the Rauataian Navy as soon as I was old enough. I was part of our campaign to establish a foothold in the Deadfire Archipelago. Starting out, it was exciting, purposeful. I believed in our mission. We were returning to our ancestral homeland, reclaiming fertile soil that would feed Rauatai. Additionally, we were helping Deadfire, bringing organization to the pirate-ridden archipelago and civilization to our distant Wana cousins. To Adir bringing order and civilization to our lawless frontier? Then I hope you learn from my mistakes faster than I did. The Huana didn't want us there. We spent almost as much time fighting the tribes as we did pirates and Wilder. And it was hard to see how any of our fighting and dying was feeding people back home. I'd always heard that war was supposed to temper us, strengthen us, but I didn't see that either. Some fell apart. Some bought into the cruelty that our continued presence required. Others didn't buy into it, but went along with it anyway. And that bothered me more somehow. I deserted. And I bounced between different mercenary companies for almost 10 years. That's why I never returned home. There were only so many options for a Rauataian deserter with no training and anything else. As a mercenary, I figured I could at least choose my battles and my crew. You figured it out faster than I did. It was more of the same. The only comfort was being part of a squad. By the time I came to the Living Lands, I'd seen enough, had enough. I did. Yeah, for a while. Look, if I can give you some hard-won advice, stay on your toes. You're in a difficult position. Whatever your role asks of you, make sure it's something you're willing to give, because you're the one who has to live with the consequences. Hey, advice is easy. The hard part's all you. What's on your mind? So did my commanding officers. Holler if you need anything else.